So after seeking the blessings of the Almighty and inviting Him in our thoughts, expressions in our day, we move further. And now I would like to take the opportunity and the privilege of requesting Professor Thorat to kindly share his thoughts and his views on this occasion with the August gathering.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to be here to attain the Global Education Excellence Award of 2013. I believe this is the second award. I extend my heartfelt thanks to the Primetime for organizing and inviting me for this event. This function is a reminder that the children of this country are its most precious asset, and therefore we have to maintain and nurture them through advanced and better education. I am particularly happy that this award is being given to those who have done considerable work in promoting excellence and quality in higher education and the school education as well. I think this is required, this is necessary to recognize the contribution of people, those who work hard to promote the excellence and quality in education. I have not done any substantial work on school education, but I was associated with higher education for 5 years as chairman of the University Grant Commission, and in that connection I got to know the problems that higher education confront in this country. In the introduction, the presenter has rightly pointed out that although our enrollment ratio has increased from somewhere around 1% in early 60s to 18% now in 2009-10, and this is very low compared to other countries in the world, somewhere around 25-37% for the middle income countries, including China. But compared to 50%, 60%, 80% for the European countries and the USA and other countries. So we are far behind as far as the access and the level of the higher education in this country is concerned. But in addition to access, the another problem that really confronts us is the disparities and unequal access to higher education. If your enrollment ratio is about 18% at aggregate level, it is much lower in rural area compared to urban area. It is much lower among the poor compared to the rich. It is much lower among the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe vis-a-vis the other group. It is much lower among the casual labor and other laborers. So this unequal access to higher education is also an issue. And of course, in addition to the unequal access, which provide opportunities to only a small section of the people to have a good education, the quality and the excellence is also a problem. We can take several indicators and try to place India vis-a-vis other countries. I am not very fascinated by this world ranking of universities and institutions because those indicators are developed in a manner such that it suits certain countries, advanced countries, that they do not suit us. For example, the universities which are included in the ranking, the university necessarily should have an undergraduate program. Our universities are not integrated universities where we don't have undergraduate program. Undergraduate program is in the colleges. So, but despite this problem with the international ranking, and we don't figure into some first 100 or so, the problem of quality remains in this country, higher education. And there are several reasons. I would not like to go into that in greater detail, but among many of the reasons, underfinancing of higher education is the major problem. We hardly spend, when I joined in 2006, the University Grant Commission, we hardly spend 0.36% of our GDP on higher education, as compared to 2% and 2.5% in other countries. In the 11th plan, the UPA1 took a major initiative and increased the budget several fold and increased the GDP ratio, I think, to 0.75%. But yet, compared to other countries, the finances to the higher education are much lower, which affect infrastructure, which affect quality of the teacher, One of the major problems that created quality problem in India was that for last 10 to 15 years, many states has put a literal ban on recruitment of the faculty. And we are now facing a crisis of faculty and teachers in the universities. The Ministry of HRD has taken an initiative how to increase the quality and supply and to compensate for that neglect. We should not have done, we should not have put ban on the recruitment of teachers, however constrained we were. You can reduce the number of bureaucrats, but you cannot reduce the number of teachers and reduce the teacher-taught ratio that affect teaching. So these are some of the issues that we have to certainly face. But I would like to submit one issue and then stop. And that is that you must remember that when we promote quality and excellence, we must keep the diversity in mind. At the level of 18%, the students that are going to enter into the higher education system are those who are going to come from rural area with a language deficiency, social communication deficiency. There are the groups like such as scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, denotified tribe, minority like Muslim. These are the ones who are lacking in higher education, and increasingly they are going to enter into higher education. And they will enter into several deficiencies. The job of the institution is how, in addition to giving the knowledge and education, how do you meet their requirement? How do you improve their capacity so that they can accommodate and adjust with the higher education? And for that you require improvement of their language. Many of them come to regional languages. Improve their social skill. Improve the understanding of the subject, because the subject that they learn at the school level and the college level, there is a huge gap when they enter into the university and basic institutions. So I think the challenge of education institution, and those who have been here are here with our award, is that we cannot look for the best people. We have diversified students coming to the higher education system, and how do we offer our education system to them in a manner such that they are able to take that education and reduce the dropout rate. That is the challenge. So diversity and excellence, diversity and quality are something which we need to address if we want to have an inclusive education. And remember well that in Europe and the USA, education is in public sector. There is hardly, in the prime stage of expansion of education in Europe, it has been a public education. There was no place for private education, and even today, there is no place for private. We have given a huge space for private and aided, and now we have self-financing institutions. But we should remember that we cannot provide an unequal access to the poorer and neglected section because of the cost of education is very high in the self-financing courses. We will have to find out ways. Education is a leveler. Education is something like a right where we should provide an opportunity to expand their capacities. We cannot say that we will expand the capacity of 10% of the people and avoid other 80% or 70%. It will create inequalities. In Europe and USA, they provide equal opportunity for higher education, and then you take your chances in the market in terms of employability. But as far as the education is concerned, everybody is given an opportunity. We are facing that problem. Our private self-financing education being expensive, we have to provide the financial support and develop ways and means whereby for the deserving and meritorious student, we don't deny the opportunities. Ministry has taken initiative by setting up a finance corporation, giving them the loan, but that's not enough. We will have to have financial system whereby every meritorious student should be provided some financial support so that he or she can enter into higher education system. These are some of our challenges, and I am so happy that those who get award, that they face those challenges and still promote the excellence. Lastly, I would submit that you must remember that education has multiple goals. Education not only provides scientific knowledge to the student, it does provide scientific knowledge, as it is the spiritual and hypothetical knowledge. It provides a scientific knowledge which enables the people to enter into the society and understand things. But also it provides skills, hand-on work, whereby we improve their employability. But besides knowledge and skill, education also provides values. Education creates citizens. It is only the education sector which builds the persons for democracy, for development of this country. So education, by creating value and people, develops citizens. So education has a far more greater role than that of only giving knowledge or the skill. So please try to understand that the education that we provide through the private sector and other sectors build up the value in this society and help the country to go further as a united entity and not divided in terms of inequality. Well, let me thank you once again, and I congratulate all those who are going to receive the award for their efforts in this kind of atmosphere. If they can promote excellence and the quality and innovativeness, they need to be congratulated. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you to Professor Thorat for sharing his views, and as he said that the importance of education is more towards extending inclusive, more sustainable and more broad-based growth and extending opportunities to all, building capacities for all, extending skills. He also spoke about that the importance of education is also in developing values among people and the morality among the people, and in fact that is a part of our culture which we have been always carrying forward. So education helps in taking informed decisions. That is what he spoke. So thank you once again to Professor Thorat. Would also like to mention, ladies and gentlemen, that he has also been the chairman of ICSSR, the chairman of UGC. He's been also the faculty member of Jawaharlal Nehru University and director of the Institute of Dalit Studies.